Here I am again. No shirt on, smoking a cigarette, drinking some coffee. And I didn't go to sleep yet. I thought I was going to go back and go to bed. But I had too much energy left in me. And I'm going to run my energy till the end of every day. Because what else can you do? You got to use all you got to keep everything going. Not a knot. If you don't clean up and pick up, or you make a mess, you gotta fix it. Everybody's gotta do that to keep the world right. You gotta clean up after yourself. I am getting tired, but I figured I had to talk to you some more. Did I tell you that my nephew took the part of my chair that had the blinking light on the back, and I think he's going to come back with a umbrella that's over my chair, so when I run around outside, I'm protected. But he did it without me knowing it. But who cares? Everybody cares. Everybody cares about everybody if they think about it. If you just think about it, and all the rhymes and all the songs, that go along with the tolls. I'd go back to explaining about Heidi and Obie Turner and all that, and the skunks, those skunks. And this horse that Obie had, he had this yearling. It was like 2 years old, never been ridden. And he wanted me to make this yearling a good horse. And it was half racehorse and half something else. It was skittish as hell. The only way I got that horse to come out, even talk to me in all this field, I just went out and sit in the middle of the field and waited till a horse come and got his apple. He come and got the apple and then ran away again. But the next day I went out again with another apple. And he come back to me, got it, and ran away again. And the third day, he come out and got the apple and let me touch it. I mean, I actually stood up and that shocked the hell out of him. He was skitty. Well, I stood up and I gave him the apple, and he let me pet him while he was eating the apple. And I lifted up his front feet. I lifted up his hind leg. He let me do that on the third day. He wasn't scared of me no more after 3 days sitting in the field. I mean, I didn't sit in the field all day long. I sat in the field about an hour of his day, and that gave him something to think about. I mean, he was just bored walking this field instead of being wild. So he'd come to talk to the guy sitting in the middle of the field because he was bored with the field. He'd seen every part of the field. Horses don't clean up after themselves, but they don't shit in the same part of the field every day. I don't know why they always shit everywhere. So you gotta watch out for horse shit when you're trying to get out in the field. Well, he was this kiddish sort of guy. He was half racehorse, half mule deer. I said, Muley, this guy was not headed, son of a bitch, in the horse. It, even after we became friends on the field, and I mean, I threw saddles over him and blankets over him. One day I threw a blanket over him and I got on his back. You know what that big asshole horse did? He just started bucking. Didn't want me up there. And well, you don't get off a horse and don't want you there, especially when he's needs to be taught. My job was to teach him to let people ride him. Well, he didn't want me there. He bucked for about 2 hours, never ever got tired about it. And then he started to slow down about his buck and then bitched about me being on his back. And we went over the edge of by the gate. And then the horse just rolled over on me. And he broke 2 toes on my left foot. Just crushed him. He just rolled over on me, thinking, oh, I got this guy beat. Well, he didn't get me beat. When he went to get back up, I was still on his back. I had 2 broken toes, but I was still on his back. And he had more energy. He still tried to buck me off around this whole gall darn field. But then he just mellowed out. He said, this guy is here to stick. I felt like I had super glue on my body because, wow, this horse just tried to get me off. Maybe the horse thought I had super glue, but after we mellowed out and we started walking around the field, I didn't even have to tell him which way to go. I had reins. But I just let him walk around like he wanted to. And then I pulled the rein over here and he actually turned and went that way. And I turned it over here and I had that horse dancing before that day was done. And I had 2 broken toes that he rolled on me for. But that horse, he'd do anything he was told to do if he knew what it was he was being told to do. He didn't fight with me no more. Him and I were the best friends after that day. His name was Cisco. Cisco. This crazy, crazy, crazy horse. We had a great relationship. But when I finally let him loose after about 4 hours of mellowing him out, and he let me off at the gate, I couldn't walk to the house, to Obie's house, It was Obie's horse and he wanted me to break it. Well, I broke him, but he broke my foot. My 2 toes were just crushed, and when I got off of him, I had to put the weight back on my feet. All I could do is hang onto the gate and hope somebody come by. Well, Obie came by, and he helped me out of the field, got me into his Jeep, got me to where I was going to lay down and sleep, and he iced my foot and my toes. By the next morning, the swelling went down and I was okay. But that horse, man, I'd just go out to the gate again and whistle, and he'd come, what do you want to do today, Gordy? Who are you? I mean, let's get a ride on. So I give him his apple. He liked his apples. And I threw a blanket on him. And I got him next to the fence so I could jump on him. I wasn't no Indian that could jump from the ground. I'm only 5'6". that time. I couldn't just jump up on his back. I had to at least have a stump to jump on his back. But this time when I jumped on his back, he didn't try to get me off his back. He said, "What are we going to do?" So I opened the gate, and we all went out in the world. And we were at the end of the West Fork. And him and I, we started for the hills. I got a broken toes on one foot, and it's all swelled up. And I'm holding with my heels because I'm riding bareback. And we're up the trail, the nastiest trail in the whole world. But he wants to go that way. And I'm letting him. I mean, he wants to go check out what the other horses have been doing and things he's smelling and things he's learning. He just is so happy being loose, not in a fence. And I'm lucky enough to be the guy on his back watching him being free. And he's liking me there because I'm like the freedom letting him loose. But I'm not. I'm just a happy guy being with a horse that's enjoying all this stuff. I didn't own him. I was just trying to teach him how to be a nice guy for somebody else owning him. Obi was trying to train this horse for his granddaughter. He wanted this stallion. I mean, we're talking a male horse to be able for his granddaughter to ride. Male horses are hard to control, but they're the absolutely prettiest animals in the world. Mares are gorgeous, but in the animal world, the stallions, they show the shit. They get out there and they just do incredible. And the mares, they just look kind of, oh, these guys are just foolish. Well, they're not just foolish. They're just trying to get laid. And the mares know it. They do. That circle has been around longer than us circles have. But that first day I rode him, after he tried to kill me, we went out in the woods. Everything, every flower, every branch, every running brook, he never crossed the stream before. And I'm telling him, okay, cross this river. He's, what? You want me to cross this thing? He put his front hoof in it. And it's cold. He says, whoa, I'm backing up. This is cold. And I'm saying, come on, go on across. It's prettier on the other side. And it took us about a half hour on the first part of the river to get him to cross it. But then when he decided to cross it, he walked across it like a big dog, like there was nothing wrong. He walked across that thing, and then he let me sit on his back, and nobody got wet except he's actually enjoying it, this cold water. And I'm talking cold, it's running off the glacier. All right, we get it to the other side. We're down the trail some more. Every branch, every bush, every squirrel, he's looking around being skittish about. It's his first time being out in the woods with somebody on his back, and I'm letting him be. But he's jumping sideways a foot or so every time he hears something and noise, he's skittish. And wore out my legs hanging on to that little pup. Whew. Because you never knew which way he was going to go. He didn't just plot down the trail. He was a young stud, you know. And, but we had so much fun, him and I. After a while, he knew what I wanted him to do, and